Health in older age, just do nothing and it might change your life. Did you know that over 70% of people over 60 make the same daily mistake, believing they're doing the right thing? They keep trying to fix things, change things, stay in control. Meanwhile, their body is exhausted, their mind is tense, and life feels heavy. But here's the question almost no one asks. What if healing doesn't come from doing, but from stopping? In this video, we'll explore why sometimes in older age, doing nothing is the most powerful step you can take toward health. This isn't laziness, and it's not giving up. It's a conscious choice to let the body, the mind, and the soul rest so deeply that they finally begin to heal on their own. You'll learn what exactly you need to stop doing to lower blood pressure, anxiety, and fatigue, why constant activity can accelerate aging instead of preventing it, and how letting go of the unnecessary can bring back clarity, lightness, and even the will to live again. Stay with us until the end, because sometimes to change your life, you don't need to add more, you just need to let go. And simply be. Here's the first thing you truly need to stop doing after 60. If you want your body to relax, your mind to clear, and your days to feel lighter. Doing nothing is still doing something, especially at an age where every step has its weight. First, stop constantly correcting and judging yourself. Imagine Ben, 68 years old. He used to be an engineer. Detail-oriented, responsible, always planning ahead. But after retiring, his days all began the same way. I didn't do enough. I forgot what I was going to do. Again, I used to be stronger, faster, smarter. He'd wake up already evaluating himself, and by night he'd tally it all up again, could have done better. Sound familiar? Millions of people over 60 live in this quiet, relentless self-audit. They compare themselves to their past selves, to younger people, to some perfect version in their mind. And this constant self-checking creates daily tension that raises blood pressure, disrupts sleep, blocks joy from simple things, and eventually steals the desire to do anything at all. But if you asked a truly wise 90-year-old, they'd tell you, you don't have to be better, you already are. Just allow yourself to be. What happened to Ben? One day, his daughter Sandra brought him a note written by his granddaughter. "Grandpa, I love being with you. You don't need to be fast, I just need you." And that day, he gave himself permission to stop fixing, to stop chasing efficiency, to stop comparing or analyzing, just to step outside, to be, to breathe. What happened next? He started sleeping better, his chronic headaches faded. Most importantly, he wanted to live again, not just pass the time. Because sometimes the deepest healing doesn't come from changing who you are, but from finally stopping the effort to be someone else. Sit on a bench exactly how you sit. Walk slowly, as your body allows. Forget words sometimes, it's okay. Old age isn't a system to optimize, it's a new rhythm of life, and its beauty doesn't lie in speed, but in presence. Now comes the second nothing, strange yet deeply powerful. It's something most people try to do even more after 60, thinking it's the right way. But not doing it can unlock calm and clarity like never before. Second, don't decide anything when you're struggling. It might sound unnatural. After all, we were raised to believe got a problem, solve it. Feeling bad, fix it. Can't sleep, find the cause. But after 60, many struggles aren't problems to be solved. They're states, moods, waves. And when you treat anxiety or fatigue like a broken machine, you need to repair. You often dig yourself in deeper. Picture Margaret, 72. She once ran a small business. Now she's at home alone. Suddenly, a few days go by and she feels restless nights, tearfulness, racing thoughts, no desire to do anything. What does she do? Checks her blood pressure, calls everyone she knows, changes her diet, starts wondering what's wrong with her. Then scolds herself for not handling it better. Until one day an old friend, 85-year-old Alan, says, "Have you ever tried not solving it, just letting it be?" She goes quiet, then listens. And truly, one evening, when she didn't try to fix, analyze, or diagnose herself, everything softened, her mind calmed, her heart felt lighter. Because not all tiredness is a problem to solve. Not all pain means something's broken. Sometimes the body is just asking, "Don't touch this, let me just be." And when you listen, it knows what to do. That's why the second piece of advice is this. Don't rush to change things when you feel low. First, be still. Sit with the non-solution. Stay warm with yourself. Wait without chasing, because sometimes answers don't come from searching, they come from allowing. Third, consume nothing, at least a few hours a day. We often imagine old age as a time of peace and quiet, less to do, fewer conversations, more time for oneself. But in truth, many people after 60 live in a state of constant informational overload. They may not be rushing anywhere, but they're scrolling the news feed every hour. They may not be working, but the TV plays from morning till night. The phone is always nearby. The radio hums in the background. The screen is on just for company. And the mind never rests, even if the body is still. But imagine this. You've already lived through decades, hundreds of situations, thousands of stories. Why carry the weight of someone else's grief from the news? Why absorb strangers' arguments? Why take in the world's anxiety like it's your own? People who've kept their minds clear well into their 80s and 90s often say, I leave the news at the door and I invite silence in. Take David, 74, a retired school teacher. His routine, turn on the morning news, then listen to political commentary. He didn't even notice how after every broadcast, his mind buzzed, his heart raced, his body felt tired. Then one day, he unplugged everything for 3 days. No screens, just the sound of his window creaking, the kettle whistling, the pages of an old book. He said, it felt like my brain finally took a breath for the first time in 10 years. That's why the third nothing is this. Consume nothing. No reading, no listening, no watching, just for a few hours a day. This isn't isolation, it's recovery, because the mind after 60 is like a closet already full. And sometimes to bring peace and order, you don't need to add more, you need to pause and give it room to breathe. Fourth, don't force your body to do anything when it's saying enough after 60. Your body doesn't run on speed anymore. It has nothing left to prove. And what once could be pushed through now comes with a different cost. But many still try to live as if age doesn't matter. They jump out of bed too fast and their heart clenches. They push through heavy housework while their back aches. They force themselves to jog or lift weights because they think, I have to stay in shape. But after 60, your body is not a machine, it's a garden, and it needs care. And pause. Let's imagine Alice, 67. She's used to doing everything herself. The garden, the groceries, the laundry, the cooking for the whole family. But after every productive day, she faces 2 sleepless nights, cramping legs, spikes in blood pressure. And she tells herself, well, that's just aging. Until one day, her granddaughter Jane says, Grandma, what if your body just wants you to finally stop forcing it? So for the first time, Alice did nothing all day. She simply was. She lay down, sipped tea, breathed. And guess what? The back pain faded, her sleep deepened, a lightness returned that she hadn't felt in years. Because the best massage for the aging body is rest. The best exercise is learning to listen. The best movement is one that honors your rhythm, not fights it. Wise people say, when your body speaks, don't shout over it, listen. Fifth, don't imagine the future. When you don't know what's coming after 60, one of the most common habits becomes this: living not in the present, but in imagined futures. And sadly, most of the time, those futures are filled with fear. What if tomorrow gets worse? What if the illness returns? What if I become a burden to my children? How will I live if I end up alone? These thoughts aren't foolish, they're human. But here's the truth. Imagined pain hurts just as much as real pain. The brain doesn't know the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. So if you constantly imagine the worst, your body starts living in permanent alarm. Your heart beats faster, your sleep becomes shallow, your blood pressure rises, your whole system enters a quiet daily panic. Wise elders used to say, illness is not yet death, but fear. That's half of your strength already lost. Take Tom, 71. Every morning, he woke up with the thought, what's going to go wrong today? And every time his body replied, fatigue, anxiety, tension. Until one day he tried something new. He stopped imagining. He stopped living in what if and focused on what is. He sat. His legs didn't hurt. That's good. The sun was shining. Good. His grandson sent him a message. Good. And after just a few days, something shifted. The fear began to fade because he'd stopped feeding it. The fifth nothing is this: don't fill the unknown with fear. Don't predict. Don't plan for disasters that haven't happened. Just be with what's real, in this one moment. Because most fears in older age aren't about what's happened, they're about what hasn't and maybe never will. So here are the 5 nothings that can change life after 60. Not because you do more, but because you finally give yourself permission to slow down. Don't fix yourself. Just let yourself be. Don't make decisions when you're struggling. Don't consume information for a few hours each day. Don't force your body. Honor its rhythm. Don't imagine the future. Live what's here now. This isn't weakness. This is the kind of strength only found in stillness. Because sometimes the greatest act is simply allowing peace. And if even one of these thoughts touched your heart, don't rush to change your whole life. Start with one thing, one quiet moment. And maybe, just maybe, tonight, you'll do absolutely nothing. And your body will whisper, "Thank you. That's exactly what I needed."